to my channel. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Now, today's video is going to be not a very long video, but it's going to be like a short and sweet life update video. As you know, as of the moment, I've started a new position at the moment. It's only temporary. It's going okay. What can I say? I've only been here a few weeks, but everything seems to be fine at the moment. So I'm never going to go too much in detail about job stuff because I think it's a little bit unprofessional until I'd maybe go into certain things a long time later, if that makes sense. So after, you know, anyway, things like that, especially, I don't know, because I just don't think it's professional. I just don't. And everything seems to be going good at the moment. So that's really, really good. But I recently, well, this week, I went to the hospital. I had an ear, nose and throat appointment. I had one a few months ago. I had to have a CT scan on my ears and brain. I'll try not to get too emotional in this video. I had to have a CT scan on my brain to make sure the nerves and the ear was all working together okay. I'd had a really, really bad time earlier on in the year. I was on Roaccutane, which we don't think has anything to do with why this happened, but I basically, one day I was at work, my old place before, which unfortunately went into liquidation, been there forever, but you all know about that by now. But anyway, one day I was at work and then all of a sudden my hearing just went weird in my right ear. It was like somebody was pinging an elastic band when I was speaking, so I could kind of hear people. It wasn't as clear as before, but I could hear everyone. However, when I spoke, I hadn't had a cold or anything like that. When I spoke, it was almost as if my voice was echoing, and the more I spoke, the more echoey and pingy it kind of got. It was absolutely horrible. My balance started to feel funny. I started to feel horrible. And I had a tad bit of pain there, but not loads. It's more if I touched this bit here, it hurt a little bit. So went to the doctors and they said I had quite a bad ear infection. I think it was inner and outer ear, I can't remember, so they gave me some antibiotics and told me to, you know, stay off work for a week or so because, you know, I wasn't very well. And I tried to carry on to work, but I had to go home. And yeah, so I ended up actually being off from work from that for a little while. I ended up working from home for a couple of months because I just couldn't walk around, I couldn't hear people properly in the end. It was just horrible experience. And then after a while though, it gradually did improve. So I had to go back to the doctors about 4 times and they referred me to an ENT. I had to wait months and months and months for that appointment. They said they'd do it as urgent. I don't think they saw it as urgent. So, but at the time for me it was urgent. I was depressed, I was down, I was actually, and I came off my medication just in case there's anything to do with that. I don't think it was. I think it was completely irrelevant, just one of those things. And yeah, so that's what kind of happened. Yeah, really weird echoey, you know, I could hear myself but it was all kind of echoing, so I couldn't hear what I was saying properly. So horrible, bizarre. I was getting really depressed and down about it. It was really, I'm not gonna lie, it was terrible. It really, really was. But gradually it started to improve. Over a few months it did start to get better, and I'd say after a month it did start to improve and I could start to hear myself a lot better, and it gradually improved. It wasn't like, oh, overnight I suddenly got better. It sort of gradually improved. So what happened is I did get referred to the hospital. By the time I got referred to the hospital, I didn't have loads of problems. So, but I wanted to make sure, I was getting a little bit of tinnitus, but nothing too bad, like a bit of a hummy kind of noise. But to be honest with you, I think I've had that in my ear for ages. I'm not really too, I don't even notice it. Really, and it's got so much better than what it was, I have to say. But they wanted to make sure I have to do a scan of my ears and my brain and everything to make sure nothing weird is going on. So they said to do a CT scan because, well, I can't do the normal MRI in the tube because I have to do an open one because I have a panic attack, and last time they put me in one of those I had to be pulled out because I just couldn't. And even for the open one they had to give me Valium because I just can't do it. I don't know, I just can't do it. I get into such a panic mode. So anyway, I had that done and I had another follow-up appointment for a few months later. Luckily, I had to wait. The appointment was 2 hours late, but every time I've been there, one was 2.5 hours and one was 2 hours late. So, but anyway, so I got to see him. Sorry, I've jumped on a bit. When I was advised by the consultant I need to have this CT scan. They wanted to do some blood tests on me as well. I don't know what those were for. The CT scan itself wasn't that nice. I had to have one of those things in my arm because putting that stuff in so that they can see everything. I wasn't told they were doing that, so I was a bit of a shock when I went in there. I thought I was literally just going to have the scans done, lay down, get them done and go, but no, they put one of those things in my arm. No, sorry, is it in my wrist? Sorry, it wasn't my arm, no, my wrist, and wasn't very comfortable. It was a little bit painful, but really, really uncomfortable. And then what happens is then you lay down on the table and they put the liquid through, and it's the most weird feeling. You feel like you're gonna need to go wee. Most terrible taste suddenly comes into you because it's going into your vein. Terrible taste goes into your mouth, but then you go through the tube thing and it's not too bad, and yeah, over and done with. Though afterwards I was ill for the whole day. I didn't really tell them at the hospital because I wanted to just go home. I had to hang around for about half an hour. They wouldn't let me leave straight away, and I think if I told them how I felt, they probably wouldn't have let me go home. But I felt dizzy, I felt sick, and I was talking like I was drunk. So anybody who's having that liquid stuff put in them like I was on the brain, to look at ear and brain, I'd recommend you taking the day off work, because I couldn't function very well. My boyfriend came and collected me. He wanted to go walk around to the shops quickly. I wanted to go with him, and he was like, no, Gemma, you can't walk around with me. Look at the state of you. I was wobbling a bit and stuff, and I just couldn't talk properly. And then also, while I was at that same first appointment, he was looking at my tonsils. I've had throat infections, tonsillitis, a whole life, loads of times. My tonsils are a massive pain to me. I get loads of tonsil stones every day, which I tend to have to push out, which is disgusting. My last terrible tonsillitis episode, actually, my boyfriend was away, and this was my more severe tonsillitis I had recently, because you can get tonsillitis, but this was terrible. It came on so quick, really, really quick, and looked at my throat, and I had all the white blobs all over my throat, and I'm like, here we go again. But what was really bad with this one is not only did I feel ill, like terribly ill, I started feeling like my throat was closing up and I couldn't breathe. I was panicking because my boyfriend was away, my parents were away, and Alex's parents were away. So I was worried that my parents were away on holiday, Alex's parents were away, and Alex was away. So I was really panicking at that point. I didn't know whether to call A&E or not, but I didn't want to waste their time. They've got so many more important people to see than me, than a girl who's just got tonsillitis. But I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I felt like my throat was so swollen it was closing up. But I thought, Gemma, just stay calm. Alex is back tomorrow and we'll deal with it then. I try not to get emotional because it was so bad. I'm not joking to you. That was probably within the last 5 years, that was probably the worst episode of tonsillitis I'd had, where I felt like my throat was like this, and I thought, fuck, I thought, shit, I can't breathe. I don't know, I quit, Anyway, calmed down, felt a bit better. I think panicking was making it worse. Anyway, went to the doctors, had tonsillitis as usual, Was really sick for a whole week. The antibiotics didn't actually kick in till about 5 days through. And I was really poorly with that one. I actually went back to the doctors 3 times because I felt so ill. But anyway, when I was at that first ENT appointment, he looked at my throat and he said to me, your tonsils are big. Especially this tonsil's bigger than this tonsil. Do you get bad throat infections? And I said, yeah. He said, well, I think you need them out. I think they can tell sometimes just by looking at them. And I was kind of shocked because obviously I'd gone in there about my ears, and he said to me, I think you need your tonsils out. So he said to me, we'll have these tests done and we'll talk about it when you come back. So this week went back to the hospital and saw a lovely lady there, actually, really, really friendly, really lovely. Apologised for waiting so long, which is nice because a lot of time they just don't bother, but she was lovely. And said my CT scan all was well, which is good. My nerves are all working fine. My hearing, because I had to have hearing tests and stuff like that done, seemed okay. I know I can hear better in this ear than this ear, but whatever. They said my hearing was okay. And yeah, so she then wanted to discuss the tonsils issue. She looked at them, said they both look as big as each other today. They both look swollen, and they're always swollen. My tonsils are huge. And she said to me about having the tonsils out again, do I want to go through with it? And I said, I think I should, even though I'm really scared, I think I should. It might help me in the long run with my general health, because I get a lot of throat and ear infections. I sometimes think my ear infections are to do with all the gunk that's getting stuck in my tonsils, because I've got such huge craters in there. So I then had to hang around even longer to see the senior doctor, who then had to give me the okay. So he saw me, said, yeah, we are okay in you basically to have your tonsils out. So I do have private healthcare. So what I will be doing is once I get my appointment through from the doctors. They said to wait about 10 days or so, should get the appointment letter, and then discuss what we've gone over, and then I can what should I say, and then I can sort of contact my private healthcare, because I'm on a contract role at the moment. I want it to be done after the contract role, and I want to have it done before. So that's what I want, which is in February anyway, so not that far away. So that's what I'm planning on doing. But I just wanted you all to know I am so scared. I know I'm going to be ill for 10 days or 2 weeks. I know I'm going to be very poorly. They've already warned me. As I'm older as well, it's not going to be nice. I'm 36 years old, so it's going to be so horrible me having this appointment. I'm really scared, I've never had a general anaesthetic before. I am so frightened. Oh my god, I'm such a girl, but I'm really frightened. So if any of you have had a tonsillectomy before and you've got any tips for me, please contact me, because I'd love to hear from you. I just I know the work thing isn't an issue. I have to take some time off work, whatever, and I'm also quite lucky that I think with my private healthcare I should get my own room as well, so that will also be a bit of a relief. I can't think of anything worse of having this done and then having to be at people on a ward feeling like death. So, and I ideally want an appointment in the morning so I can go home the same day. So what I will do, even if it makes it a month or so later, I will ask to have a morning appointment so I can go home the same day. I don't want to stay there, but we'll see what happens. I don't know how Benadryl works, so I'm getting a bit emotional, but all I wanted to do really is just to sort of give you a little update on what's going on with me, and yeah, I wanted to just, if any of you have been through this, have had this done, especially as an adult, please, any tips would be welcome, and any words of reassurance as well. I mean, I know I'm going to be in pain. I'm going to ask for every painkiller under the sun. I just don't want to feel a thing if I can. I know I'm going to, but I want as much painkillers as possible just to get me through the first week, and then I'll calm it down. But I just don't want to feel anything, and I'm terrified of that anaesthetic. I don't like going to the doctor. I'll tell you something. I don't like going to the doctors. I don't like going to the opticians. I don't like going to the dentists. I don't like anything like that. I get hugely nervous. I mean, I've had problems with my glasses recently, which I know a lot of people who wear glasses all the time, like me, who is super short-sighted, short-sighted even, and I've had a few issues, and I worry about the worst things. I don't know why I'm a divvy, but anyway, so it's going off on a tangent. But if any of you have had a tonsillectomy, especially as an adult, sorry, I was getting a bit teary there, I've got a bit of eye bogey, I can feel on my eye, please contact me, let me know how you get on. Any tips would be most welcome. So what I'll have to do, I'll try and make sure before this happens, I'll have a lot of pre-recorded videos. I might not be able to get them up daily, but I might be able to, who knows. But any wishes or any kind of advice would be more than welcome. So that's a little update from me, not too positive but not terrible either. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you're new, and I hope you have a lovely day.